If you look at it, and his goals in ASA 83, they're almost the same. Look at they copied Comfort Moyes mission for the goal. Yeah, because he says that development should be human-centered. MDG says development should be human-centered. Going to the people, asking them what they need. You don't sit in Accra and decide some of this, what he needs. Maybe he might need a mosquito net, you give me a land cruiser. Yeah, you understand that? So if you look at those two, you might think one copied, or they copied him. So this man, after some time, he has written more on culture as a bishop, a Roman bishop, than any other person. There's another one, Monsignor Roger something, he's in Bolga. He also has cultural things. Yeah, but this when you get some time in, you think you're becoming a rebel, then, you know, if you don't play to the church rules, then they'll line you. So there are these things around.
And I think what you're saying is the main problem, that victims, that most of the time, not only the boys in the church, but also girls and women, that nobody believes them because the powerful, if it's the adult, the church, family system, they don't. It's such a taboo because the whole system explodes. And that's the reason why most of the time nobody believes in the victim. It's easier not to believe in the victim. And that's the reason, for example, in Germany, it was the same thing. There was also a famous school built in the 60s with very liberal thoughts. And for years there were 2 or 3 boys who said, is something going on wrong? I've lived this and that and this and that. And nobody wanted to believe them because the whole society wanted to believe in this school. And after 25 years, it was a journalist, a friend of his, and he started listening to him and started to research it. And now the whole school exploded. And it's because then one spoke up, the next one, the third one, and then you have proof of maybe tens, dozens. And I think in the first moment I would, it's sometimes also mixed with psychological violence. Sometimes you go crazy about things. But in the first moment, I say I always believe the one who says I was victim, and then I try to find out.
And as I said, there's no smoke without fire. So if you see a fire somewhere, or smoke somewhere, then
Today is Garrett or will fire.
I think the people need more investigation.
and you know that there is something that the Roman Catholic has not said, right? The children stuff. It's like in the old, you know that the Roman Catholic, it's the replicata or the copy of what happened some way, somehow, some time ago, you know, with the Jewish, temple. There were some priests who did not have, you know, to have children. There were some priests who could have children, and so on and so forth. So this is what's going on. So don't be surprised when you see some priests with children, because there are some other priests who do not have children. This is even the problem we have right now, because the desire is so much stronger that some priests want, to break up from the oath and go back and get children.
They are talking about it, but I think it's almost divided. When you talk about Anglican, do you know Anglican?
The Church of the King.
Anglican. Yeah, so they were also Catholic, but because of this, I think it's under the king, this king, I've forgotten the name, they decided to get, decided to, that a priest should have wife and then have children, but Rome, the capital city of Italy, they refused because it's not related to the law what Jesus Christ lit before going. So
What they think.
they think. Yeah.
I don't let you. What Jesus Christ did what?
No, what they think, because normally Peter is the first pope. Peter, when Jesus Christ was there. So we are doing what we are following the heritage of Peter, what Peter left. So Peter, the pope is, let's say, the Peter.
There was, at the time of Jesus, if actually, if actually the calendar we are using is actually true, right? Because there's the Gregorian calendar and all these calendars.
Yeah.
Where we are actually right now we are using the Latin calendar. I mean, from the Romans, right? And what is going on is that when Jesus was there, because we all read that same Bible, even if there are some Bibles, some other books were added into the Bible, right? But if it is the Bible that we all know, right, there was never a name in the Bible which is Pope. The name Pope was created around the year 2000 of this era. 2000, the year 2000, right? So 2000, when I said the year 1000 of our era, this is where we heard of the Pope. So there was nothing like Pope.
He used to be rabbi.
Yeah, he used to be rabbi. And the reason why, because Pope, what do you call him? Peter was, martyred on the cross, right? And before he died, before they martyred him, he said, "Oh please, I don't want to die as my master, Jesus." So they turned the cross upside down. So that's why behind the seat, the chair of the Pope, you see the cross upside down, because he thinks that he is Peter. He thinks that he is Peter.
No, he doesn't.
Listen, he thinks that he is. He thinks that. Listen, no, he thinks that. No, he thinks that he is Peter, and therefore they should acknowledge him as Peter. Because when Christ said to Peter that you are my church, you are going to be my church. And because at that time, the temple was already there, as I told you before, the copy of the temple of the past. So they brought that system up to the Roman Catholic today. That's what they call it, the old church. It's the old church, right? So there's a whole lot of things going on, but we're not going to judge anybody. We're not going to judge the Anglican church or everything. But it's just that everybody's doing their own thing, right? But at the end of the day, the truth will prevail. Because all this religion, Catholic, Anglican, all these people, they all believe in God and in Christ. So we all are going to die, of course.
But back to class, leave the religion and let's come back to class.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, they need more investigation before.
No. The truth is, now they've done some investigation, and this is a movie. So to say they need some investigation, maybe you have your skill that you are looking at, and they also have their skill. At a point they were arguing whether to publish or not to publish. So to them they've accomplished what they need to cover before they come out.
Yeah, but his problem is that he doesn't want to acknowledge that there is evil everywhere. That's his problem. So it's like, wow, you're telling me that I'm going I'm going out with the wrong people. I mean,
if you want to question what you believe is true.
There are people,
Maybe he wants to be a priest.
Who?
He.
So you don't want to destroy the kingdom, right?
He said you have to what? Is it celibate?
But
Is
don't you think
Please marry
that they are trying to destroy the Catholic Church?
No, nobody is trying to destroy the Catholic Church, right? Even the Anglican Church, people have been saying a lot of stuff about that. Even all the churches, people have been saying evil of it. So it's just that there's evil everywhere. You have to acknowledge that. It's not about the Roman Catholic, nobody, I mean, nobody really cares about the Roman Catholic, right? If you go today to those churches, they'll tell you, oh, the charismatic church, they are bullshit because the pastor are taking.
Meanwhile, they're working from it.
So people are saying evil.
That's the basis of your church, and you are condemning them.
That is the thing. So
For me, the whole thing doesn't add up. So
yeah, just believe your faith, and at the end of the day,
you see where you go. Right? That is it. So we should not bother with all this religion, you know.
Because the last time I died and waited, he asked me.
It was a free gift.
He didn't actually know the church I was. I just decided to come back and tell people how. I'm writing a book by now.
But this is what is so sad, because there is so much confusion, and confusion brings. I mean, it's difficult the world we are living in.
I think in this topic it's not that difficult. It's what you said. It's against human nature not to have a partner or sexuality, and the whole system that established among this idea for thousands or for hundreds of years now produces such pain to other people.
That's
so
the point.
you have to rethink that. It's not that difficult.
I use
You
the
go
word.
to church every day, you'll be seeing pretty ladies there saying,
I use the word destroy because when people hear that, they don't want to go to the Catholic Church. Even if you go and confess, sometimes we don't go. And then because they think that when they go there, the priest will do, bad things. But it's not true. That's why I've used the word, and we are struggling for that. We are struggling because we can see that people are running away from the Catholic Church because of this rumors. I call it rumors because it's not true.
Yeah, but then it's the church that has to change and not the people.
And because we didn't have that opportunity, let me tell you something, just in brief. There was some priest from the Roman Catholic, who came and, gave a testimony about what is going on there. I'm just surprised that you are not aware of that. The priest from the Roman Catholic Church, even when
But the thing is that you cannot totally rule out that
Yeah.
fact.